mission? Is it really you? I heard Taurus was destroyed. I thought you were dead. Oh, joy of joys, my little sister is alive.
I have to ask you something, Griff. It's important. I ran into Lena. She said it was your idea to leave me on Terrace. It isn't true, is it?
Well, there's the truth and then there's the truth, you know? I always meant to go back to Taurus just as soon as I had the credits to pay off my debts. But credits have been hard to come by.
You mean it's true? It was your idea to leave me there? I'm your sister. How could you abandon me like that?
Come on, sis. You didn't need me to look after you anymore. You may have been young, but you knew how to take care of yourself. Besides, you're here now. I mean, everything worked out fine.
That's it? That's all you have to say to me after all these years, after deserting me on Terrace?
That and, you look good, sis. Like you're doing well. Financially, I mean. Say, you think you could spare me a few credits to get back on my feet? Do you?
You're hitting me up for credits. I don't believe this. Lena was right about you, Griff. We should have just left you to the Sand People. Don't talk to me anymore. Ever.
That didn't go well. Sis was always a little too fiery for her own good. She'll cool down in time. You're kidding, right? Look at me. Do I look like I've got any reward for you? You may have saved my life, but I don't have a single credit to my name. Say, you wouldn't be able to spare me some credits, just till I get back on my feet, you know? That's it, huh? Figured you'd be able to spare a bit more than that. You know, I'll take whatever I can get. Don't worry about me. I've already got a job waiting for me. Krayt, the manager over at the Zerka supply shop, said I could come work for him if I ever get tired of the mines. Yeah, I think I'll go take him up on his offer. You know, maybe there's something else you can help me with. I need to talk to a guy first and set up the details, but if you're interested in a job, come see me in Greta's shop. Goodbye, Mission. I'm glad you're not dead.
What the hell is your kind doing here? Bad enough I have to deal with all these other idiots, but now there's a stinking KOTOR on this world too?
I have as much right to be here as you do, sir.
Ooh, big man. The Jedi shooting his mouth off from behind a lightsaber, or whatever you're carrying. Hiding behind your pet KOTOR, and a woman at that. We should have exterminated all you KOTOR when we had the chance.
What? What do you know about my world?
I know enough that... Hey, wait a minute. You look familiar somehow.
What? You?
This doesn't concern you, Jedi trash. Now where could I have... No, he's dead, and she likely is too.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I was wrong. Still, I think a specimen like you would be a nice addition to my collection. So, what would it take, Jedi, for you to sell your pet here to me? Now don't be so selfish. We both know KOTOR aren't real people anyway. The females make amusing pets, but the males should be put down like the animals they are. I remember one time on Taurus.
What? What did you say? What did you do on Taurus, you scum?
Put one of you down like the animals you are. So easy. Then I saw one of the females on the auction block. But those darn Jedi.
It was you.
What? Me? Oh, now I recognize where I've seen that face before. You were the little KOTOR I was going to purchase. But those Jedi came and stole my pet away from me. When I was fighting with the Mandalorians against the KOTOR, I developed an appreciation for these creatures. They make excellent servants if properly trained. You Jedi act all prim and proper, but inside you must feel the same way I do about the lesser, non-human species. The Sith at least let their feelings show on the outside.
You... my homeworld.
Come now. Will you let your pet go? I'm sure we can come up with a price we both think is fair.
And I will see you dead for what you have done to my people.
Hold on a second. Don't be hasty.
There is peace. I will remain calm. I am a Jedi now. My lust for vengeance must be curbed.
Yes, yes. Say no to the dark side, but I will have you yet. Ha!
Ucua penki, tang ituama ji human act in ikatune, chi itakanki, Baba Hassan Shan. No ba. Smilia!
Tong abos. Takum. Jidda.
Statement. 8.
Greetings again from the offices of... Yes, we're still waiting for you to return with... We don't have any... And I would remind you that you did agree... I should You are... Very... I see that, but do you have... Then I'll take those off your hand. I see... Well, that is a very big headache that you've removed. I'm sure there are still sand people out there, but they'll be quieter now. I think I'll give you a bonus for this. You've more than lived up to your side of the bargain. Zerka Corporation thanks you. And I wouldn't want you to leave without this additional reward. Yes, of course I wouldn't.
A Jedi should not use the Force to acquire credits, even if we are taking them from a corrupt corporation like Zerka.
Just the person I was hoping to see. Mission didn't come with you, I see. Well, guess she's still mad at me. Oh well, it's probably for the best. This job is more up your alley anyway. As you may know, tack glands can be refined to a very potent powder. It's the primary ingredient in Teresian ale. That's what makes it so strong. Of course, now that Taris is pretty much wiped from the face of the map, Teresian ale has become somewhat scarce and very, very valuable. Luckily, I know the secret recipe. I know this guy. He's with the Exchange. Now, if I give him a small sample of Teresian ale, he says he can synthesize it and reproduce it in mass quantities. Problem is, I need one of those tack glands to make the first batch, and now that Taris is a smoking ruin, the only place to find tack is on Kashyyyk. If you can get your hands on one of those tack glands, I'll make it worth your while. Sorry, like I said before, I don't have any credits on me, and Greta won't lend me any. I mean, it's like he doesn't trust me to pay him back or something. But you come through on this, and I promise you'll get a huge payday down the road. 3,000 credits. How's that sound? Please, you have to help me. I promised this guy from the Exchange a sample of Teresian ale. If I don't come through for him, he's gonna break my legs. Or worse. Yeah, I knew you'd come through for me. You won't regret this. You'll see. Just don't take too long, okay? This guy from the Exchange could stop by any day. I kinda told him I already had the stuff, so if he shows up and I'm empty-handed, well, let's just say I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Ki mulira kun Ki mul Chiwa aita kang ki chan
Greetings again from the offices of Zerka Corp. You have fulfilled your end of the bargain, and Zerka Corporation is grateful. The Sand People will be less of a threat without their chieftain. I will, of course, continue to give you bounties on regular gaffy sticks. Everyone helps.
How are the Sand People doing so much damage?
Get lost, Spacer.
I heard about you setting the track record. Wish I'm not. Keep saying.
You're back, I see. And I suppose she's too busy to even help her own. Go on. Leave me be.
Hello again. Would you... I mean, I don't want to say... Oh?
Huh, what's the winner of the Manan Sector Champion title doing here, I wonder? Must have blown all your winnings. I've already gone over this stuff with you. Huh? I suppose you're fishing for a reaction. Huh? No. Huh? So
Yes?
What?
Ready.
Yes?
Yes?
Oh, it's you again. Good.
Ready.
Sure.
Combat mode active. Powering weapons. Acknowledgement.
Sure.
And you need...
Yes?
Master?
And you need...
What? Sure.
Yes?
What? Yes? Yes?
I'm tired of waiting, Comad. How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
Chatukunde mulerabes ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno muchashak pakat kieno no damapaule rachikun runda dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunodek tugning chatukunde mulerabes ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachi jedabadwana ni dibobo dong na bungsha nununya runda dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tung ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachi kun slimo jedabadwana ni dibobo dong na bungsha nununya dong patukashma runda dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching muchashak pakat kieno no jedabron muchashak pakat kieno no damapaule rachikun ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachikun slimo podonar dihodunga ku kabe dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunodek tugning chatukunde mulerabes ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachikun slimo podonar dihodunga ku hunkabe runda dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunodek tugning chatukunde mulerabes ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachikun slimo podonar dihodunga ku hunkabe dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunodek tugning chatukunde mulerabes ka chikun idahaldonga ikinkuno ba mulerachikun slimo podonar dihodunga ku hunkabe runda dihodonga kun hankabi wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunodek tugning chatukunde mulerabes
카치군 이다하던가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군 스리모포도 나르디호동가 군가베 론더 디호동가 군헌가비 어느 군베스 징 발라물레 통킹바 노노덱 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스 카치군 이다하던가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군 스리모포도 나르디호동가 군가베 론더 디호동가 군헌가비 어느 군베스 징 발라물레 통킹바 노노덱 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스 카치군 이다하던가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치 론더 디호동가 군헌가비 카치군 이다하 무주샷 바깥 기노노 나마파올리 론더 디호 카치 무주 제도바도와는 이디보보 동나붕샤 누누냐 동바두카시막 달레 론더 디호 동가 군헌가비 어느 군베스 징 발라물레 통킹바 노노덱 독닝 무주샷 바깥 카치군 이다하던가 이 무주샷 바깥 제도바도와는 이디보보 동 무주샷 Achuta. Wonga kun pistol. Achuta. Wonga kun pistol. Jeda badawana ni di bobo. Dong na bungsha nunu. Tune podo. Rananu prata donko shirkasha. Jum na apike. Dayata. Wata yuma wama huhu nandatik. Shotung ni patoga. Wano kuspe ching palamula tonke. Jeda badawana ni di bobo. Dong na bungsha nununya. Dong patukas magtalea. Ronda di hotonga kun hankadi. Wana kun bez ching palamule. Mucho shak pakat.
Anybody else get the feeling that finding this star map in the back of this Krayt Dragon's cave is more than just a coincidence?
The star map is an artifact of the dark side. The Krayt Dragon may have been drawn here by its dark power, only to be enslaved by it.
Now that we've got what we came for, we should probably move on. Can't say I'm going to miss this pit of the world.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure you may have defeated the pathetic bounty hunter my master sent after you. But you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself. Your words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No? Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
Yeah? Yeah?
Not this again!
What?
Oh, this
I'll avoid what I can.
At last, my search is over. You may... Your words mean...
Oh, this...
Kachiku. Muchasha. Jedu.
And you need...
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yes?
Jolie, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolie. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes. I want to stop Malik as much as anyone, but I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. And belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you were quite adamant. No doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. But I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group, with a lightsaber and Force powers.
What can I do?
Sure.
I'm here.
I still got it. Never too old for this. I still got it.
What?
And you need...
Yes?
What?
Achuta. Unga kun bistul. Achuta. Unga kun bistul. 쟤도 봐도 와는 이디 보보. 난다야다. 쟤도 봐도
Finding this star map here in this cave gives me a cold shiver. You don't think it's just coincidence that the Krayt dragon made its home here, do you?
The star map is an artifact of the dark side. The Krayt dragon may have been drawn here by its dark power, and enslaved by it. Come, we should leave this place. There's nothing else for us here.
My search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure you may have defeated. Your words mean nothing.
What can I do?
Sure.
You need?
I'm here.
We're too old for this! Not this again! Not this again!
Sure.
Yes?
What can I do?
What?
Query, what do you wish to ask of him, Master? Protocol. This will be a very... Translation. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories, you need to bring him a dragon pearl from a Krayt dragon. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until you fulfill this condition. He thinks you are just making fun of his traditions. Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master. Translation. 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 He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you. Translation. Translation. Theirs is an oral history, Master, an active part of their lives. It is only permitted to relay the tales face to face. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people. Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned. Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off. Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders. Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for. Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species. Translation. Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood. Cautionary. Remember my warning, Master. they may consider certain questions to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for. Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation. Great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation. Those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves. Translation. Master?
Yes?
Sure.
Master?
What can I do?
Sure.
Translation. 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 There came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation. The builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation. They worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation. Soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free. Translation. Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the Long Walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things? Resignation. Very well, Master. Translation. The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people, and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation. These outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation. So it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine. Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master. Cautionary. Obedient. Translate. Translation. 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 The tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation. Edit. I believe. Clarification. It would appear that the cautionary. Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations. Translation. Translation. He has no number. He claims that those that were taken were examples of the worst of his kind, arrogant and uncaring of the land. Doubtful. Master, this is just another distortion due to their demonization of the builders. It's like claiming an aspect of his people were taken, not actual individuals. Clearly, history has colored his view. Of course, only the inferior meatbags were taken. The remaining were his ancestors, after all, and must have been special. Obvious. The same reason Zerka Corporation is attempting it now. Expanding empires need tremendous amounts of resources. Cautionary. Clarification. The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time. His people used this extended weakness to sabotage their larger ships. The response of the builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine. Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow, but the storyteller only believes they won because the builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight. Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors. Hypothesis. If his people were moving away from technology for a long time under the builders, they may have had extensive cave systems that could grant shelter. I would also suggest that, given the evidence of the massive shift in the nature of their society, most of them did not survive. Cautionary. Impatience. Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master, I'm sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use. Agreement. Of course, Master. Just no more of their inane wandering. Clarification. They appear to hate humanity with a passion only rivaled by their hatred of the builders. For some reason, you resemble what they once were. Perhaps there is a lingering fear that you are their tainted selves returning from exile among the stars. Cautionary. Master, if you mean to suggest that humanity is ancestrally linked to ancient Tatooine, you will strain his belief system to its pitiful meatbag maximum. Cautionary. Remember my warning, Obedient. Translation. Translate. Cautionary. Perhaps. Cautionary. Master, if you mean to suggest that humanity is ancestrally linked to ancient Tatooine, you will strain his belief system to its pitiful meatbag maximum. Translation. Cautionary. As expected, he is claiming you...
Yikukumo no ba mulira tikun. di hotonga kun hunkabi. Takom jus dak miki. Jedo badwana ni dibobo. Ka chikun ida hotonga. Iking kuno. Mucho shak pakat. Kieno no nama takom jus dak miki grabber mo. Takom jus dak miki grabber mogo. Jedo badwana. Jedo badu. Takom jus dak miki. Jedo badwana ni dibo. Jedo.
I heard what you did out on the dunes. I'm impressed. I'd never have thought a tenderfoot like you could bring down a dragon. Again? Why don't you tell me? You've killed a dragon. Me, I just make do hunting desert raid. And there's not many of those even left. It used to be a one-on-one test. I could stumble. I don't go to use good work. If see
Ciao baso, Gino Molirani. Kiwi aita ka, kiwa aita ka. Ah.
Did you win a regional swoop championship on Manan or something? I recognize your face.
Hello again. Is there something else? All right then.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corporation. You have full... I will... Fair...
You're back! I knew you'd come through for me. Sorry, like I said before, I don't have any credits on me. And Greta won't lend me any. It's like he doesn't trust me to pay him back or something. But you come through on this, and I promise you'll get a huge payday down the road. 3,000 credits. How's that sound? Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Torresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Torresian ale in mass quantities, we're gonna be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, at least 20 times your investment. Hey, don't worry, you'll get your credits as soon as we start mass producing that Torresian ale. I just wanted to know if you were interested in an even bigger payoff. Wise move. I can see you really understand how business works. Now, when you see your chance, you jump at it, huh? That's my motto. I better get started on brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll have a down payment on what I owe you.
Master?
Yes? Sure.
Ki mulira kun king. Kaki.
Back already? Have you even looked for the holocron yet?
I have the holocron, Mother. I'm just not sure I want to give it to you.
And why not? Would you deny me even that?
I've never denied you anything, Mother. You may think I don't remember what it was like before I left for the Order, but I do. You were the one who pushed Father to go on one treasure hunt after the other. You loved living in wealth. You think I don't remember the fights? You were eager to send me to the Jedi even though I didn't want to go. You took Father away from me. And now this holocron is all I have of him.
Fool girl. You have a strange way of remembering things. That wasn't...
No, I don't wish to argue with you anymore, Mother. It's time we parted ways now, for both our benefit. You don't know her. My mother is notoriously deceptive when she wants something. Why should she have the holocron?
Is it too difficult to believe that I am a dying woman who simply wishes to see her husband one last time?
I find it difficult to believe anything you say, Mother. All right. It shames me, but I find it difficult to let go of the past. I'm sorry, Mother.
I was hard on you, dear. I wasn't a very good mother to you. I know that. Your father loved you so. He wanted you to be just like him. He wanted to take you on his hunts, but I said they were too dangerous. I always tried to keep him from the dangerous ones, but he would have none of it. It was a reckless life we led. Always moving. I didn't want that for you.
So that's why you gave me to the Order?
What do your father and I have to show for all those years of hunting? Nothing. That was no life for anyone. Especially not someone as gifted as you, your father. He spent all his last years trying to pay for my treatments. That's why he went for the pearls. I begged him not to, but...
Your treatments?
I'm dying, bastila. I did not lie about that. It's been a long time in the coming, and there's really nothing that can be done anymore. I told your father to let me go, but you know how he was. Stubborn, like you.
I'm so sorry, Mother. I don't know what to say.
Keep the holocron, bastila. It would do me good to know you have it. This talking to you. This is what I really needed before
I know. Thank you. I'm glad we talked too.
Well, now. You said you had important business, and you were never one to mince words. You there. You take care of my daughter, you hear me? That's good. I'll feel a lot better knowing there's someone to watch her.
Where are you going to go?
It doesn't matter, dear. Don't you worry about me.
Here, take these 500 credits. It's all I have. Go to Coruscant and find a doctor. I'll meet you there after what I have to do.
But I already told you there's nothing that can...
Please take it. I want to see you again, when we can talk.
All right, I will. You do what you have to, bastila. You go make your father and I proud.
I'll try. Farewell, Mother.
Business is up a little, so leave me to my work.
Welcome back. As you...
How can I help? Yes, that brought me a lot of peace. More than I thought it would have. Thank you for urging me toward it. After all my training, I would have thought it would have been easier. Apparently, I still have much to learn. How can I help? I wish I could help you with that.
Yes, what's on your mind? I'm not really sure, but you can figure it out on your own, can't you? Yes, what's on your... Tatooine's just a desert. That's all I... You get...
What happened? What's going on?
Sith interdictor ship. They must have been waiting for us on the hyperspace route. We're caught in their tractor beam.
Do you recognize the ship?
It's the Leviathan. Saul Kara's vessel.